talk about what we think. So tune into that show. But today we got Steelers versus Detroit. What do you think of that game, Harry? How'd it go?
Went well. I think Big Ben secured himself, left no questions. He's going to be the starter.
It was up in the air, but yeah.
I think not in the air, but sometimes you got these people that think, oh, he's getting too old. He's not the guy. I think he made sure he's the guy. And then I think the battle for the backup is still going. We'll come down to the last game.
I'm very disappointed. Out of all we've seen, Dwayne Haskins, he's still on third team duties.
Yeah.
He only ended up playing a drive in that game because the Detroit dominated possession in the second half. So he never really got in there.
Yeah.
Which was unfortunate. So we didn't even get to see him.
Next game, we're going to get an answer. So it's probably going to be a half Rudolph, half Haskins because they got to make a decision.
I hope they at least play him first. Someone on Twitter had a funny comment. They said it looked like Haskins is playing like a guy that he knows no matter what he does, he's in the third role.
That might be true.
Which is kind of disappointing because I feel like he's been the better of the two, but he doesn't get a chance in the games.
Yeah, he's been all right. Rudolph has done enough to, like he always does. He looks like a backup.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Rudolph. He looked really good last night, but Rudolph's problem last night and his problem the other two games and his problem when he started was he drives down the field, but then he does nothing in the red zone. He still has 0 points.
Yeah.
Rudolph can't beat the red zone.
Well, we've seen when he's the guy that the offense struggles, so I'm not surprised.
I think a lot of people forgot he got replaced by a duck.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's got to say something. I don't know. I guess maybe they're playing. I don't know if they're going to keep all three. Maybe they're planning on keeping all three.
I think they'll keep three. I think you may be right, though. I said before, I thought Dobbs is your third QB no matter what. But I think maybe Dobbs may be out and they keep Haskins as a third.
Yeah. I mean he's shown enough to definitely, I think, keep him around.
Yeah, you'd think. He's looked good, man.
Yeah.
And if Ben goes down from injury, I think you want those two guys on your roster.
Definitely. And especially after what happened last year, I think you definitely want to keep Haskins around because you've seen what Rudolph can do.
Yeah, for sure. But Ben looked great last night. That was the big story of the game. He had 137 yards, 2 touchdowns. He went 8 for 10. He had a perfect passer rating of 158.3. If I were the AFC North, I'd be scared after last night.
Hey man, I'm becoming more optimistic about the season.
I was going to ask because you were down. We need to redo our predictions on our Steelers show. Last night looked good.
Yeah, when we do our preseason, our season preview again for the Steelers. Yeah, I'm feeling a little better because I've been hearing really good things about Melvin Ingram and Najee.
Looked good last night
looking
too.
really good.
Najee had a huge play last night. Najee had that. I have it written down somewhere. He had like a 46-yard. It was like a 10-yard pass. He turned it into 46 yards. He broke down the outside, breaking ankles. He looked good, man. Again, 46-yard play.
He's got potential to be one of the best backs in the league this year.
Pat Fairmouth had 2 touchdowns. I might have to learn how to spell his name because I feel like I'm going to be tweeting it a lot this season. That was my story earlier. Ebron has been struggling. I was going to bring this up earlier. One of our earlier shows, we picked 2 players. I picked a player. You picked a player we thought would have a big year. You picked Terrell Edmonds. I picked Ebron. I feel like both those guys have been non-existent in training camp and in preseason so far. I haven't seen Terrell Edmonds at all. And Ebron, man, he struggled. He looked good later in the game. He made some big catches, but he struggled early. He struggled with blocking. He dropped a good pass from Ben, and then Pat Fairmouth comes out and has 2 huge touchdowns.
Yeah.
So he might be moving to the 2 spot behind Fairmouth before it's said and done.
Well, Ebron's pretty good receiving tight end. He struggles blocking. Like I said, I've said it before. I mean, Fairmouth can become a pretty good blocker. He could overtake him and get in
And
there
he
by
can
the end of the
catch.
season.
I mean, I guess a big thing they were talking about the broadcast last night. He prides himself in never dropping a pass, and the story on Ebron is he's dropping passes, and it's continued.
Yeah.
The O line, I think last night was the first time we've seen all the starters together. They looked really good most of the time. A few of those plays, man, they just collapse completely. There's going to be an up and down. Dotson looked really good. I think that was his first game. I don't know if he played a little bit the game before. There was a lot of talk about him being out of shape coming into camp. Tomlin had a comment about how he wasn't the starter, or he hasn't had the reps yet, but they've moved him up the first string and he dominated last night.
Yeah. It should be interesting. One more game.
Highsmith, Ingram both looked really good last night. Man, when TJ Watt gets in there, that's going to be a nasty line.
Yep.
And the running backs. Does Benny Snell make the team right now?
It's tough to say. I'd say yes.
It sucks for him because he's been hurt, so he hasn't been able to play or practice. But I feel like we've got enough sample size of him the past 3 years where I don't know.
Yeah, his experience in the past, I think, will put him in.
Man, McFarland, Balaj, and Samuels have all been good, though. Who do you cut? You're not keeping 5. I say Samuels or Snell are on the chart. I don't know how you cut McFarland or Balaj. I feel like McFarland's got to be number 2 or moving his way there. He looks really good, and they're running him a lot.
Yeah. Tough decisions.
Yeah.
Why they get paid what they get paid.